Welcome to another edition of the Murfreesboro Real Estate Report. And love is in the air. So today is the week after Valentine's Day. I hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's, whether you've got somebody in your life or not. I hope it was a good day for you and a good week for you as well. We're looking forward to bringing you some wonderful, exciting information about the Rutherford County real estate market. We do this every week. If you don't know, I'm John Turner. I'm the team lead of the Turner Victory team at Onward Real Estate. And we specialize not only in the Murfreesboro and Rutherford County real estate market, but we actually cover the entire Middle Tennessee area, and we can help you with your real estate needs. Now, on this report, we do look specifically at the Rutherford County area, which would be Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, Eagleville are your incorporated cities, but also you have Christiana, Eagleville, or I just said Eagleville, Las Casas, Fosterville, Rockville, all sorts of great little communities within our area. So appreciate you tuning in this week. I am going to, let me see here. I need to change this up and get over to our data. We keep up with this data. As a matter of fact, we've got some proprietary things here that we've been working on. Really excited to continue to bring these to you and to upgrade what we're bringing to you every week. So this week we're looking at the 49 over here is our market health score for Rutherford County. So that sits at 49 right now. Last week it was a couple of points higher. We'll talk about the reason why for that here in a minute. You can see how we have everything broke down by our price ranges. Our month supply over here in green would be anything below 3 months supply, actually 3.5 months supply. So you've got that in our lower three price points, and also in the $800 to $1 million price range. That is a smaller range, but sitting below 3.5 months supply there as well. Overall, we're at 3.12 months supply. We have 1,334 homes on the market as we record this. 140 of those would be new, so they hit the market this week. 119 homes went under contract this week. 76 homes closed, and we had 55 what we call delisted. That means they either expired or they canceled. Over the past 6 months, we've had 2,566 homes actually sell. That gives us a list to sell ratio of 98.4%. So let's look at, let me go over to these charts over here. All right, so this is our year over year where we look at different things. Our active inventory. Let me pull out 2025 real quick for a second. But you could see traditionally, or over in 23, 24, and most years, we would actually see a decline in inventory right now until we get a little bit more into the spring months, even though I will make the argument right now we are in the spring buying season. But normally we would see the inventory drop off and then start to build. But over the past couple of years, if you notice, we have actually seen that inventory start building. We had a little mixed results here. We had 3 weeks where we were actually down, kind of peaked out right here, 3 weeks where we were down, and we're right back up to where we were about 4 weeks ago. So I do expect this inventory to trend up. I think a little bit of the huge increase here, I think it would have been a little bit not flatter, but not as steep of an increase. But remember, we did have, a couple of weeks ago, we did have ice that affected our markets a little bit. When we look at month supply, we've remained fairly level. I mean, even if I go back to last year, we've hovered around this 3.2, 3.3 mark. We actually are at 3.12 right now. So still pretty steady. We may build up a little bit here. I don't know. I could see us kind of merging over here with 2025 somewhere a little bit later in the spring. Just some of the things we're seeing with the pending home sales. But it'll be interesting to see. That's my prediction right now. I will tell you, talk about predictions. We talked about that going into this year, going into 2026. We know that 2025 was definitely a down year for our market as far as units sold. And we predicted that we would probably be somewhere between 2024 and 2025. Well, let's look at the new listings right now. If I pull out 2025, I'm sorry, between 2024 and 2023, okay? But if I pull out 2025 right now, look at this, new listings. We started out the year and jumping up quite a bit. That first week's anomaly just because the way that the new year falls. So I don't put a whole lot of stock in the first week. But right here in 2024, we had 182 new listings. We had 219 this year. But then look at the past 2 or 3 weeks. Our new listings have been up, but not nearly as much up as what we were in 2025. If we pull 2025 back in here and take out 2024, look at the orange now. Over the past 4 weeks, our new listings have been lower than what we did in 2025. And if you remember 2025, those first couple of months, we actually built up a lot of month supply because we did see a lot of new listings hit the market, but the sales were down. So here we are, new listings are down this year compared to last year. What are we doing sales-wise? And whenever I say sales right now, we're talking about under contract. Under contract right now, look at this. Compared to 2025, the orange line, all but that 1 week right here, which probably had something to do with the weather, we have exceeded the sales of 2025, or the pending home sales anyway. They haven't closed yet, but the pendings have gone up. If I pull out 2025 and put in 2024 and 2023, that's showing you a little bit too much here. So let's compare it to 2024. 2024, our pendings are up over 2024, except this 1 week that I'm talking about here. So really thought we would see somewhere between 2024 and 2023. And if I put 2023 numbers in here, you can see we're down slightly. This 1 week right here was a big anomaly, but everything else is a little bit closer to 2023. I don't want to get lost too much. I like this data. Some of y'all do, some of you don't. So I don't want to get too far in the weeds. But what this is showing me is right now with our pendings and our new listings, we are floating in between what we saw in 2023 and 2024, kind of in that middle ground. So that's really where we thought the market would be going this year. I know we're only about 7 weeks into it, so there's still a lot of time to go for this year, but that certainly looks to be holding true, at least the first part. Let's go down here. There's a couple of things I wanted to point out, and I don't want to scroll too fast and hurt your eyes, but the relist, the active relist by price range, this is raw numbers right here. And relist is anything that went off the market and pretty much immediately came back on. We did have it set to bring it within 30 days, but because of the holidays, we know some people pulled off the market for 45 to 60 days. So really a relist, we're considering anything that came off the market and then came back on the market within the next 60 days. But here's the interesting thing. We got it broke down by percentages here, and these are your price points. But if you can read that, 28% of all the homes in the $300,000 price range actually went off the market and came back on. That spikes over here in the 700,000s, where 37% of all homes, so more than 1/3 of all the homes that are on the market actually were listed once, came off the market because either it expired, they decided to do a price change and pull it off, or however you want to look at that, but they came off the market. So I think that kind of tells a story that things are not selling as quickly as what the MLS may show that they are. So we certainly need to keep that in perspective. That even shows over here on the blue is what the MLS shows as the average days on the market. The red is what we consider to be the true days on the market, and that would be from the very first time a house went on the market till the time it went off. So it takes into account those relists, and you could see with some of these higher price ranges, these numbers get a little bit further apart. We also now have the ability to break down showings per price point. So we've got some of that data here. If you want any of that, reach out to us as well. one thing I do want to do here that's not. All right, so let's jump over here and look at the mortgage rates, the 30-year. We've talked about this trend and how it's trending down. We bottomed out here for the past 12 months at 6.06%. It rose a little bit, but it's back down to 6.09. Friday was a really good day for mortgage rates. So, and this chart ends on Thursday. So I certainly think when the markets hit tomorrow, which will be Monday, we will see those mortgage rates drop a little bit more as well. So the mortgage rates are working in our favor. Something that's not, and this will come to a surprise to a lot of y'all. I've got some notes on it here. Nearly half the homes, over half the homes actually, in Rutherford County that were listed did not sell. So over the past 12 months, your odds of selling, if you're in Rutherford County, were only 47%. Everybody thinks, oh, my house will go on the market, it will sell. Now, I will tell you, this takes into account what we were talking about, those relists. So someone could be on the market for 2 or 3 weeks and thought, hey, I'm trying out this market. I don't like it. I'm going to reduce the price. And instead of just reducing the price, they pulled their house off the market and put it back on the market. Some of it could be that they went through their entire listing period, didn't get any activity on it. So the listing expired and then they brought it back on. When is a good time to sell? Everybody always asks me that. Here is for the past year what has happened, the number of sales. The deeper the blue, the more sales we had in that time period. Not a huge difference, but if you look here between April and August is when we've seen the most closings. We did have a little spike here in December as well. So if you are thinking about selling, people say, well, that means I need to get my home on the market in April. Not really. Because these are when they closed. It normally takes, on average right now in Rutherford County, about 38 days to get to closing. So that means these houses that closed in April went under contract in March. And that means they were already on the market and available to be seen. So a lot of these that sold in April actually went on the market in late February. Gee, where are we right now? Late February, right? So late February to early March. And if I'm a seller, I want to take advantage of all this opportunity because we've already seen that your house may not actually sell the first time around. So if you're thinking about selling and the timing is right for you, sooner is better than later based upon the data we have here. Something else that's interesting, how many showings are you going to get? We've got some data that will help us predict that. But on average right now, across Rutherford County, you're getting about 2 showings a week on any listing. So now that's going to vary from price point to price point, but about 2 showings is average on that. Let's talk one more thing because I've heard this in the news a little bit. So we'll talk about this, and then I got just a few little stats for you. But foreclosures are up, and I hear that all the time. Oh, they've doubled, they've whatever. You have to put numbers into perspective. So this is just across the board. I was able to find this. This is for January of 2026. Pay attention to this line up here because we're going to have to kind of remember these things. Right here, the first line is how many foreclosures one foreclosure per how many households, okay? And then over here is the change from November and the change from December. Right here's the total foreclosure filings. And let me see. So we've got to scroll way down here to get to Tennessee. Okay. And right now there's about 5,300 homes in foreclosure. I'm sorry. I take that back. See, I told you we had to remember those headings. About 1 out of every 5,300 households in Tennessee are in foreclosure. That means across the state, there's 587 homes that are in foreclosure right now. Okay. Now the stat that you're probably going to hear is over here that since this time last year, foreclosures are up almost 50% in Tennessee. It's like, wow, this market's horrible. It's crashing. It's whatever. That's not the case. This number right here, 1 out of every 5,355. Let's go back to the pandemic, and not the pandemic, the Great Recession, okay? 1 out of every 61 homes in Tennessee was in foreclosure. I think that meant there was like maybe at its height, like 47 or 48,000 homes in Tennessee were in foreclosure. Okay. We're looking at 587. So I tell you this to say, hey, don't let the headlines grab you. It's sensationalism, but we're not seeing that crash. We're not seeing a lot of people in distress. Now, I do hate it for anybody who is in distress. I mean, because if it's my house and I'm in distress, it doesn't matter who else is. It's a big deal to me. But overall, foreclosures are just such a small part of what we're seeing. So don't get caught in by the headlines there. Let me see. Active listings are up 15% from this time last year, but it's kind of weird because new listings are actually dropping. So that's really just a weird dynamic going on right there. Important stat here. 1/3 of all active listings, 1/3 have already cut their prices by average of 4.1%. And this is Rutherford County numbers, people. This isn't across the nation or anything. So if 1 out of every 3 houses you see on the market, it's cut their price, and it's by average of 4.1%. So what we're seeing when we talk about your odds of selling and cutting the price and all that, homes are selling, but we still have a lot of sellers that are wanting to overprice their house. And they just want to try. Well, I can always come down. That's what we hear. What we have seen is that it takes if you overprice your home, it takes 51 more days on average to sell your house, and you get about 1.5% less on your sales price there. So just testing the market and trying to see really hurts you in the long run. So if you're thinking about selling, think about that. I talk about sellers a lot, and sometimes I don't bring in what this means to buyers, and we really need to talk about what this means to buyers. Buyers, we are at a point where the lowest point in quite some while where we are seeing full price. You're not stealing things, all those foreclosures aren't true. Everybody's not just hurting, but the sellers that are on the market and really want to sell, they are negotiating. They are paying closing costs. They are coming off the price. They are getting more realistic about where they need to be priced. So you've got opportunity right now. And we have seen the pendings up. Yeah, I showed you all that data. Pendings are definitely up over last year, but we don't have the market flooded with buyers right now. So depending on what home you're going after, you very well may not be in competition for that. So you have some negotiating power, which is really nice because buyers either haven't had the negotiating power or the affordability issue made it so tough that it just wasn't feasible for someone to purchase. But affordability is getting better every month. The wage reports just came out last week, and wages were up once again. So prices right now are staying fairly flat. We will get the FHFA government documents here. I think we got another 3 or 4 weeks before we get those to see exactly what happened with home prices from the government standpoint. But prices are staying steady. They may even be declining slightly depending on where you are. So buyers, with wages going up a little bit, prices staying steady. We are seeing a little bit better affordability. And as we talked about, mortgage rates have really helped us out by staying down now for 4 or 5 weeks. And they continue to hover right around that 6%. And most buyers we're working with right now are able to get some type of loan in the 5s. And there's also some programs out there if you're a first-time home buyer where there's some help you can get as well. So if you're interested in anything like that, please talk with myself. Please talk with any of the members of the Turner Victory team. We're here to help you. I like this data, but the reason why I like it is I like to look at it and say, hey, how does this help our clients? How can we use this data to help you sell your house and put you in the best position we can? How can we use this data as a buyer to help you get where you want to go? So if you are interested in selling your house or buying your house, let's sit down. Let's look at this data. Let's look at your goals, and let's see how we can help you get there. Again, I am John Turner of the Turner Victory Team at Onward Real Estate. We bring this to you every week. We've been doing it for some time now. I always ask you to please make sure to comment below or to like us, subscribe us, whatever. It helps us. We keep growing every week, keep getting new subscribers, and we appreciate it. So whether you are a fellow real estate agent who enjoys using this information as well to help your clients, or whether you are a buyer or seller, or just a friend of ours who supports us, we appreciate it very much. Appreciate you tuning in this week. And until next week, we hope you make it a great week. And again, we will see you next week. Thank you.